Hey, good evening. Good evening. Good evening. Hey, how everybody doing? I hope everything is well, man. I want to welcome you guys back to the Conversation 9-8. I know it's been a while, and I hope you guys have fun. I mean, I was having fun the way that I have, man. I'm excited to be back on today, and I look forward to having a good, quick conversation with you guys tonight. So, um, so yeah. Man, it's been a while. Been taking some time this month, but hey, tonight we're on episode 200. Episode 200. So, um, I hope you guys have a great. Been having a great time the same way I have, and your boy a year older, and looking forward to, not only looking forward to, but just happy about, uh, you know, being back on here again, because it's something that I'm excited about, and I think the conversation tonight is going to be one that is going to be not only I think it's going to be a very interesting conversation, but I'm excited about the milestone of 200. Been doing this strong for 4 years now, and still going strong, still doing the things that I need to do for it, and I'm happy for that, and I'm happy just on the journey because it's been a journey. It's definitely been a journey. To stay committed to it, and I'm just excited. Being honest with you, I'm excited about it because it's just a personal thing, and I started this journey I started this just because I felt led to do it, and not only did I feel led to do it, but I just decided to do it. Wanted to talk about things from a Christian perspective, from a more of an organic and a realist perspective, and that's something that I started, so that's why I'm excited about it. But besides all of that, we're gonna get started. I'm sending this to a few people, like I do, and once I get that on, man, we're gonna get started and get on with it because that's what we do. But again, just want to say, man, Thanksgiving coming up, and I know this time is can be a challenging time for some, but I'm definitely grateful and thankful, and looking forward to spending time with family. And really, this year, just taking some time down to focus in on family and think about family, because the reason being is I think sometimes we get so focused in on doing a lot of stuff. So family is going to be a big priority. But tonight, one of the things we're going to talk about, and I'm looking forward to the conversation tonight. Definitely looking forward to the conversation because I feel like it's necessary. But we're going to get right on with it. And tonight's conversation, what we're talking about is you're the only one that's ultimately will determine the quality of life you live. You are the only one. Nobody else will. There's people that can influence it, but at the end of the day, when push comes to shove, you're the only one that will ultimately determine the quality of life that you live. Now, when I'm speaking about quality of life, the things that I'm speaking about when I say quality of life, I'm not speaking on because everybody want to go to the financial thing. I'm talking about the quality, the wholesomeness of your life. You're the one that's ultimately responsible. Now, you can sit around and you can try to point blame and you can try to put fault at other people because people do influence. We do have external influences, and I'm never going to say we don't have it. But at the end of the day, you got to start taking ownership and start looking at the quality of life that you have. If the quality of life that you're looking at your quality of life now and it's not what you really want, you got to start looking in the mirror and realize, okay, what can I do to change that? I mean, being honest with you, the quality of life. And I think many times what happens is this, many times we look to blame other people. We look to to put fault at other people for where we're at in our lives. And I know you can make the argument from a child. Children are influenced by those who's supposed to be taking care of them, their parents, their guardians. They're influenced by a lot of different things. But I'm talking about specifically those people who've been outside of the covering of their parents or their guardians, and they've been living their own lives, but now you 20, 30 years into it and you still blaming somebody else for the quality of your life. No, the quality of your life right now is as a result of your choices. It's not always about what the external influences. And if we always try to sit there and try to make it about external influences, then you will find yourself just existing and never really living and enjoying the fulfillment of what life can bring you. For real. And at the end of the day, I think that's really sad if you find yourself in that position because you're the one that's running from dealing with the reality of you. That's what that is. And I think sadly that happens a lot. That right there happens a lot. How you doing, Miss Robinson? Good evening to you. Good evening to you. Good evening. But yeah, ultimately you're the one that determines the quality of life that you live. And I think a lot of that too, a lot of the things, and a lot of people need to think about this and really look at it. But most of the time when we start sitting down and look at it, the quality of life that you live is really dependent on your mindset. It's really dependent on your willingness to learn and to grow and to challenge yourself to come out of your comfort zone. The problem that many of us have, we choose to stay in the comfort zones, but then want to complain and get mad because we are not willing to do the necessary things and do the work to increase the quality of life. Now, quality of life, I'm not talking about material things. They do play a factor, but I'm just talking about the quality of relationships that you have, the quality of friendships, the quality of your interaction with different people. You know, many of us, we achieve certain financial goals, but we have a terrible, just a terrible quality of life because, yeah, we got money, but we don't have relationships. We don't have wholesome meaning in our lives. And that really boils down to us. Ultimately, it boils down to us. And we got to look at ourselves in the mirror to figure out what we need to do to control it. For real. I mean, I don't care how you slice it. That's what it is. And I know a lot of times people get upset and people don't like having these conversations, but the fact of the matter is the same. And the fact of the matter is we all have to do work on ourselves if we want to have a good quality of life. And that's in anything. If you want to pursue a profession, if you want to, whatever your goals may be, you got to do the work in it, right? But what we also have to look at is the quality of life. We're the ones that would determine it. And too many times we put that on other people. Oh, well, my mama didn't do this, my daddy didn't do this, or this, that, and the third. I got you. But at the end of the day, what we have to look at, the world don't care. Nobody else cares what you had to overcome. And I'm not saying that to be insensitive, but that's just a fact of the matter. So what are you going to do with it? What are you going to do with the fact that you probably started off at a disadvantage? What are you going to do with it? But you still can control the quality of life that you have. And too many times people get caught up with the quality of life as far as with finances. And that's what we miss out at. Because so many people miss having a good quality life because they are chasing the wrong thing. And I don't want us to chase the wrong thing. What I really would like and what I really desire is for us to look at it from a different perspective. What's going on, Sammy? How you doing, man? God bless you. God bless you. Thanks for tuning in. But I want us to really look at that, like quality of life. And I was just having a conversation with my mom, and we're just talking about quality of life. And one thing that I look at is, and I want us to look at it, but some of the things that people look at and they want to say quality of life, it can be defined in many things. Like, for example, quality of life for me is great relationships with those that I love. The quality of life is the ability of interacting and having a relationship with my kids where there's dialogue and we can have a conversation. And it's not just so much from an authority standpoint, but they feel comfortable with coming and talking to me. You know, being a great dad, being a great, putting that work in for certain roles that I fulfill, that's quality of life for me. It may be different for somebody else, but at the end of the day, I'm the one that determined ultimately, I'm the one that determined it. I can blame everybody else. Yes, like I said before, there's external influences, but those external influences, at the end of the day, if I allow those to dictate and control my quality of life, then I have forfeited my authority to control my life and the quality of life that I choose to live. And that's on me if I do that. That's on me. That ain't on them. And the sad thing is, so many of us, and it's sad, it really is, but so many of us default and we give up, we forfeit our right to control the quality of life we have because we choose to try to blame everybody else for it. We try to blame all the external influences. We try to blame all the external things on other people, and they may influence it. But at the end of the day, you're the one that have the quality of life. You got to start looking at, okay, what am I going to do for myself? What am I going to do for me? What am I going to do? What quality of life do I have? And a lot of times some people, what they think is they try to view quality of life from a selfish standpoint. I'm talking about when you start talking about quality of life, if it's just centered around you, I can guarantee you it's not a fulfilling life. It's not. You can try to slice that and do it all and flip it up and turn it and paint it however you want to. But quality of life involves the interaction with other people, regardless of how you want to put it. But that's just a fact of what it is. We're designed to be social creatures. We're social creatures, right? I'm not saying that you need people to validate you, but our quality of life is surrounded and supported by being connected to people. I'm being honest with you. There's stories that people tell about being in prison and being in solitary confinement, locked up 23 hours a day and just being by themselves. And after a while, they say they started to go crazy. We desire interaction with other people. And so many times I see people be like, oh, I don't need nobody else. But the reality is we do. But you determine it. You know, don't waste. I would tell you this. This is one thing. Don't waste your time, energy, and effort in your life trying to blame somebody else for your quality of life when you are the one that hadn't done anything to change that dynamic. Oh, well, my wife or my husband or my mom, my dad, this, that, and the third. Yes, I'm not dismissive of something traumatic that may have happened to you. But that traumatic thing happening to you, you can give it power to control you, or you can look at it, deal with it, address it, and seek the help. But then also say, I'm going to control the quality of life that I have. And stop putting it on other people. Because when we put it on other people, what we end up doing is we're foregoing the authority and the power that we have to control the things that we can control. And one of the things about it is sometimes our quality of life won't go up until we cut people off and we stop giving people access to us. Because some people don't deserve to have access to us that we give them access to us. We do that. And, you know, and I'm not saying that to be demeaning or anything, but I would tell you it is one thing about it. It is a very sad thing to see somebody who spends their entire lives blaming other people for their quality of life or try to blame other people for the consequences of the choices and the decision they made. Yeah, your daddy wasn't there, but you almost 30 years old now. You've been outside of the house since you was 18. When you going to start dealing with you? When you going to start dealing with the decisions and the choices that you make? Why you always looking for somebody else to be there for you to take up the slack for your indecisiveness or your bad judgment? And then you want to blame that on somebody else, but that's on you. And then you feel bad, and then you're upset when you're looking at certain things and you sit down and you're looking at it and you're mad and you're upset because you're saying, hey, excuse me, hey, I'm here because of what they didn't do for me. No, you're there because of your choices. That's where you're there for. And you can put that on, whoever you want to put that on, but that's what you're there for. You're there for your choices and the choices and the decisions that you made. Like it or not, that's what it is. And you can try to slice it. You can try to do whatever you want to do. But at the end of the day, you got to deal with you. So I want us to understand this, man. And I told you I won't be on long, but at the end of the day, you're ultimately the one that will determine the quality of life that you live. And one thing we have to look at too, we got to start being accountable, and accountability come in. One thing we got to look at, we need to take inventory of our lives and start to look at it and be like, is this the life that I really want to live? Not the material things associated. I'm talking about your life. Do you have the quality of friendships? Do you have the quality in your life? Do you have quality fulfillment from your job or from things that you volunteer with or you're connected to? And if you find yourself answering that question, no, then you got to ask yourself, what am I doing myself that I can control that will lead me to living the quality of life that I seek? Because the reality is many of us, we just exist and we hope everything kind of fit in what we want. And we do a lot of things that we want to do, but we ain't doing the work, or we're not doing the work to make sure that it manifests the quality of life that we want to live. And then we get frustrated at everybody else, but the finger point, the blame point back at us because we ain't doing the work. We refuse to do the work. And that's something that we got to start looking at. That's something that we really have to look at. And the reason why I say we really have to look at it that way is because, you know, it's a sad thing, but, and I seen it, me and my mom was talking about it. Many of us, we live on autopilot. We're living on autopilot. We're operating on autopilot. We're operating at that space to where we're fulfilling roles. We're being parents. We're working on the job. We're existing. But then we're frustrated, silently frustrated, because the quality of life that we probably desire is not there. But if we peel the onion back, we didn't do the work. We got so caught up with fulfilling these roles and being on autopilot and doing all these things that we haven't done the work to set the conditions to have the quality of life and do the investments in the things to have the quality of life that we seek. And that's on us. We have to do that work. Because in order to have quality, you first have to have the foundation laid and do the work to enjoy reap the benefits of it. Because quality of life will only come if there was an investment for it. And, you know, one of the other things people don't want to talk about, but it is what it is. Too many times what we're doing is we have gotten so used to having counterfeit or bootleg, but we expect the real deal. And it's almost like you buy a fake purse in our lives, the quality of life, we've just been bootlegging and it looks like it. And we got the same things that it looks like a quality, but it's not quality because we haven't did the right investments. We didn't invest into the right product. We didn't invest into the right quality of product, but it looks the same on the outside. But it's like you take a bootleg person, you look on the inside, you'll start to see some of the details ain't the same. When you start looking at it closely, you'll start to see, hey, it's some minor differences in it, and it's not the same. But that's many of us, we've been living like that because we've been investing into bootleg instead of investing into quality. And the quality takes time. You have to invest into the quality before you can reap the benefits from it, those quality relationships. And that's what it is. That right there is what it is. But man, I hope you guys have a great and wonderful week. Thank you guys for rocking with me. And good evening to you, Miss Thomas. Good evening to you. Thank you guys for rocking with me. Hey, go check me out on all my social media platforms. Hey, I appreciate you guys coming back stronger. Episode 200. We've been going strong. To God be the glory. Hey, see you guys next week. Have a great week. God bless. Happy Thanksgiving.